Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is DINA QISTINA binti ZULKANAIN. For this presentation, my group has chosen Sunway Group as our company review and strategy plan. First of all, I will give a brief introduction about the Sunway Group company background. Sunway Group was formed after a merger between Sunway City Berhad, or also known as Sun City, and Sunway Holdings Berhad on 23 August 2011. Sunway Group ventured into various types of industries such as property, construction, hospitality, retail, leisure, commercial, trading and manufacturing, quarry, healthcare and real estate investment trusts. It first started with Sunway Holdings Incorporated Berhad in 1986 with intention of developing Bandar Sunway in Petaling Jaya. Following the accomplishment of Sunway City, Sunway Group decided to diversify its businesses into property investment, leisure and entertainment, hospitality and healthcare. Currently, Sunway Group's core businesses are in property development and construction. Sunway's vision is to be Asia's model corporation in sustainable development, innovating to enrich lives for a better tomorrow. Its mission is empowering our people to deliver enhanced value to all stakeholders, embracing sustainability in our business processes and decisions, and attracting and nurturing a talented and progressive workforce for the digital era. Sunway's organizational culture believes in upholding the right values to build a sustainable and progressive society. The emphasis on Sunway core values is the key ingredient in Sunway being where Sunway are today. Sunway's goal and objective are transforming our portfolios to low-carbon sustainable cities, advocating a responsible value chain, developing a safe, equal, and dignified workforce, investing in community inclusivity, and respecting ethical principles.
Okay, I will explain about the first element of the SWOT analysis, which is strength. The first strength is global presence. The group has a worldwide presence in many countries and markets. A global company presence allows exposure to new ideas and inventions and lower dependency on the Malaysian local market, in addition to offering earnings diversification. The construction, trading and manufacturing units are among the industries involved by the Sunway Group. They continue to expand their global business activities. For example, Sunway Construction Group Berhad is well known as a highway builder company in India. They provide full services related to the construction work such as electrical, infrastructure engineering, and plumbing. Sunway Group also has a presence in the healthcare industry and hospitality in other countries such as Sunway Medical Centre Singapore, hotels in Cambodia and Vietnam. The second strength is steady stream of income. A few of Sunway's business units such as the real estate investment and REIT division provide the group with a consistent stream of continuing revenue and profitability. Sunway Group, under its property business unit, receive a steady income every month from the tenants from their property projects such as Sunway Permit, Sunway Velocity Mall, and Sunway City. Other than that, the Sunway Group Construction Division success in bidding the tender for the infrastructure project which valued at 2.39 billion. This has minimized the impact of financial during the pandemic crisis. The third strength is solid financial. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic's impact, Sunway was able to maintain a strong financial position. Sunway can engage in massive capital expenditure projects or act fast to take advantage of acquisition potential because of its strong financial position. During the pandemic crisis, Sunway Group still managed to get 3.8 billion in revenue. In 2020, they also successfully surpassed their 1.1 billion sales target as they sold property valued at 1.3 billion. As in December 2020, with 5.1 billion outstanding construction order book, profits are expected to be stable for the next 2 or 3 years. The fourth strength is corporate strategy and good business practices. Sunway's firm commitment to accountability, transparency, and effective governance gives the company the internal control it needs to manage financial and non-financial risks. The group system of governance allows for a more quick and proactive reaction to market forces as well as strong supervision of all material matters from an ESG viewpoint. For example, from 2025, all Sunway projects and managed estates and projects must obtain green building certification. Next, by 2030, at least 25% of its electricity should come from the renewable power. The fifth strength is integrated and diversified business group. Sunway's diverse business activities expose the group to a wide range of industry and economic sectors, and its business units are market leaders in their respective sectors. The group strategy minimizes reliance on a specific industry which is exposed to the cyclical downturn. For example, Sunway Group under its subsidiary Sunway Holdings Berhad purchased a 51% stake in Credit Bureau Malaysia or CBM. This is because Sunway Group wants to diversify their business and involve in the financial technology or fintech. Furthermore, Sunway Holdings Berhad also acquired 100% of the total issued and paid up shares in Dolomite Granite Quarries Berhad. This is because Sunway Group wants to strengthen their position in the quarry industry.
Hi, I am Ibrahim. So I'm here to talk about the weaknesses of the Sunway. So as the first point is the decrease of Sunway's net profit in 2020. So Sunway's net profit fell 81.3% year on year to RM71 ringgit 0.58 million from 382 ringgit 0.9 million in the first half of the fiscal year 2020. All its business sectors witnesses a decreased profit before tax, including the property investment and also the healthcare segments. So as the second one is the insufficient staff in healthcare. In healthcare, there is a shortage of personnel. The shortage has created a big loss of chances to make more money, especially during the peak of the COVID pandemic, during the cases in 2020 and 2021. If Sunrise is able to hire more staffs who at least can support the front line, such as the doctors, the nurse, and also then it is enough for the Sunway to at least gain more revenue. Then we move for the third one is the low reputation and brand equity in healthcare. There is a lack of brand equity and reputation because Sunway's healthcare has poor service levels compared to other healthcare services in Malaysia. Thus, the people have less confidence to go and even try the service. Because of Sunway's low brand reputation in healthcare, this causes their hospitals to have less patients as they are only well known as the vacation places which provide the hotels and also the theme park services. Then the lack of skilled industry talent. The continued talent loss and the scarcity of the competent industrial talent in trading and manufacturing makes the strategy done by the Sunway less effective, as they need to train their staff and top management in order to enhance the chances of successful rate for the strategies to be carried and implement to strengthen the Sunway's competitiveness. As the last point of the weaknesses is the undersupply of skilled virtual design and construction or building information modeling people. Because of this, the revenue in the construction sector showed a downside of starting 2018, which recorded with the highest income, followed by 2019, and end up with 2020 with a income of 990 million as the lowest. So this proves that the expertise in this corporation needs to be upgraded for higher revenue.
Okay, I will explain about the third element of the SWOT analysis, which are opportunities. The first opportunity is expansion to other countries. Sunway is committed to growing its company in the global market where it has identified interesting development prospects. Several of the group business units plan to explore opportunities in both developed and developing countries. Suncon is well positioned to strengthen its position in India, where demand for roads, bridges, and large projects remain high. Sunway Construction Group Berhad has announced that they received infrastructure project from the National Highway Authority of India valued at 508 million ringgit. The second opportunity is collaboration in business and in operations. Collaboration may be used to bring innovation or improve business model to market, in addition to cross-sharing of knowledge, people, and best practices. This involves new products or services as well as new technology that can cause market disruption and give Sunway Group a major competitive advantage. For example, Sunway, Huawei Technologies Malaysia Sdn Bhd and Celcom signed a MOU to explore Malaysia's first three-way collaboration aimed at enhancing smart township innovation, which include the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and 5G technologies. The third opportunity is digitalization. The pandemic has demonstrated the need of digitization in reducing the complexities and inefficiency from all group units' value chains. Digitalization will allow for cost reduction in the medium and long term. Significant investment in technological acquisition, employee training, and system deployment are necessary. For example, Sunway Group has started adopting the Internet of Things in the group in an effort to reduce energy consumption and optimize the resources available in the group. Sunway University also used the blockchain technology to verify the authenticity of the academic certificate. The fourth opportunity is sustainable and smart city. Sunway has been compiling and analyzing data from all of its business units in order to help the Malaysia Smart City Framework successful. For example, several phases of the Sunway City Kuala Lumpur Township have already been implemented. Smart parking, magic mirror, urban farming, intelligent urban transit, and many more. Sunway Future X Farm, a Sunway led project to encourage urban farming in order to make communities food self-sufficient. The fifth opportunity is internal strategic collaboration. The group business unit emphasizes on continuing to study consumer habits and emotion as well as utilizing this data to create effective marketing solutions to improve the number of visitors. For example, Sunway's Recreation Business Unit and Sunway Institution signed a MOU to establish a collaboration to produce customized academic activities for the university. Benefits include multidisciplinary professionals from the theme park giving lectures at Sunway University and field visits for the students.
Okay, next one we go on to the threats. So for the first point is the slow economic growth. Slow economic growth because of the COVID-19 and other elements may contribute to the global and local economic uncertainty, resulting in a slower economic development for a longer time. Failure to manage effectively in the midst of the poor economic growth might jeopardize the accomplishment of the various company units, goals, and also the objectives. For the second one, is the health and safety risk and disruption in the business operations. Health and safety issues may affect corporate operations throughout any value chains. So this will have an impact on productivity, income, and also the people's confidence. But the group continued to comply with all of these necessary government authorities and agencies requirement to protect the safety and health of the employees and stakeholders. Proactive measures should be adopted first. Third one, market performance down by 9.9% in 2020. The value and the volume of Malaysia's property market fell by 9.9% and 15.8% respectively in 2020. According to the Valuation and Property Services Department, the number of the unsold but under construction residential units fell by 1.3% in 2020, while the number of the unsold but unbuilt units fell by 22.6%. Based on these statistics, it proves that while the sales in 2020 is decreasing compared to 2019, which 2019 have made 1.6 billion compared to 1.3 billion in 2020. So for the fourth one is the inflationary pressures. The rising cost of inflation each year have a linear relationship with the cost of labor, raw materials, and other resources which need to be used in the operation in this company. Even though the inflation keeps increasing, the revenue does not, as the Sunway needs to find new strategies and on how to create more income to keep the company sustainable enough to survive and also make the profit. So for the last threat that Sunway have is the travel restriction and international border closures that are still in the place. One of the biggest threat for Sunway is one of the biggest threat for Sunway is there are still travel restriction in effect as well as international border closures, which started in March 2020 until August 2021. This restriction really gave a big impact on Sunway as most of the operations involve the properties and tourism, which need the most of people coming in and out from their property to run the business. But because of the ban, they are unable to do so.
Okay, and now we will look at strategy formulation of Sunway Group, which is at stage 1. Strategy formulation is critical for achieving and assessing the sustainability of goals. For the internal factor evaluation matrix, which is IFE, the rating indicates how strong or weak each factor in Sunway Group is. The number range from 4 to 1, which 4 indicating a significant strength, 3 a major strength, 3 is a minor strength, 2 indicating a minor weakness, and 1 indicating a big weakness. Strength can only be rated at 3 and 4, and weaknesses can only be rated at 2 and 1. Based on the table shown in slide, the most significant toward the strength of Sunway Group is they are expertise and have a good track record for over 40 years at 0.32. 0.32 score which show it is the greatest strength among others. Priority weakness of Sunway Group are replacement of established specialists come at a high price, insufficient of staff in healthcare, and lack of skilled visual design and construction building information modeling people, which 3 of this the rating is 1, and it is indicates a big weaknesses. As a result, the company have received total weighted score 2.6, which indicate that the company have a strong internal position as it above the average score.
I will continue with the EFE, External Evaluation Factor. It is a tool that examines and evaluates the external forces surrounding the company. We have carefully studied and identified 19 external factors which are opportunity and threats that affect Sunway Group. The rating values are 1 for the poor response, 2 for the average response, 3 for the above average response, and 4 for the superior response. After we weigh and give rating for each of these factors, we get a total weight score of 2.79, which is above the average of 2.5. It's meaning that the Sunway Group have a good response to the external environment, and that's the company strategies are designed well to meet the opportunity and defend against the threats. Okay, for the opportunity, the collaboration in the business and operation has the highest weighted, which is 0.28 weighted score represent for the Sunway Group. It is because the collaboration made will have an impact towards the company income streams. Hence, it will have the favorable impact on the company. While, in the other hand, the biggest threat facing the Sunway Group are slow economic growth and cyber and IT risk threat that have 0.18 weighted score. Hence, the company should develop a new strategy to overcome and minimize these threats.
For the CPM, the metrics analyze and compare Sunway main competitors based on industry critical success factors. The analysis also display company strength and weaknesses in comparison to its competitors. This metric allowing Sunway to choose which area it should enhance and which it should defend. They range between 4 to 1, which 4 indicating the major strength, 3 representing a minor strength, 2 representing a minor weaknesses, and 1 indicates a major weaknesses. Based on the table shown in the slide, Sunway Group received a second highest score. This means Genting have a better critical success factor, while Sunway have a better critical success factors than Berjaya Corporation.
Next, we have chosen space metric as a strategy formulation technique for this company. Based on the data, our space metric indicates that the Sunway Group has a very weak competitive position, which is in a negative growth and stable industry. The stable strategy that can be implemented by the Sunway Group are retrenchment, divestiture, liquidation, and related diversification. Therefore, we would suggest the company or the Sunway Group to focus on improving internal weaknesses and avoiding external threats.
Okay, I will explain about the IE matrix. The IE matrix is one of the tools used to assess the company's key area and operations. The IE matrix is based on an analysis of external and internal components that are combined into a single model. It is plotted based on IFE total weighted on the x-axis and EFE total weighted on the y-axis. In the IE metric, there are three major regions which are grow and build, hold and maintain, and harvest or diverse. The Sunway Group IFE is 2.6 and its EFE is 2.79. So after plotting it on the diagram, it falls on the 5, which is the region of hold and maintain strategy. The strategies that can be implemented in this region are market penetration and product development. So, Sunway Group should hold and maintain their strategies, and they should focus their strategies on the market penetration and product development.
BCG Matrix is a portfolio planning model that used to evaluate the product in a company portfolio based on the growth and market share, which means it has multi-divisional organization to manage the portfolio of a company by assessing each division relative market share position and industry growth rate in comparison to the organization other division. Hence, the approach is best to company to evaluate their product based on BCG metric, which are cash cows, stars, question marks, and dogs. Property development and construction are the stars for the Sunway Group, since it brings more cash to the company. Property investment, healthcare, and hospitality, Trading and manufacturing are the question marks for the Sunway Group. Leisure and entertainment is the cash cows for the Sunway Group, while quarry and building materials are the dogs for the Sunway Group.
Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix is the stage 3 of the Strategy for Malaysian Analytical Framework. It is used to indicate which alternative strategies are the best. As for Sunway Group, we come up with 3 different alternative strategies, which are increase the number of skilled construction workers, secure construction project overseas, and introducing telehelp. The QSPM is a tool that allows strategists to evaluate alternative strategies objectively, based on previous identified external and internal key success factors. Like other strategy for Malaysian analytical tools, the QSPM requires the assignment of ratings, called attractiveness scores, but making small rating decision enables strategists to make effective big decision. After evaluating the sum total attractiveness scores of 2.38 versus 2.24 and 2.045, the analysis indicates Sunway Group should introduce telehelp. Further explanation on each strategy will be explained next on strategy implementation. As can be seen in Boston Consulting Group matrix, Quadrant 2, which represents stars, shows that property development and construction have the best long-run opportunities for Sunway Group growth and profitability. As it has a high relative market share and industry growth, substantial investment will help to strengthen Sunway Group profitability. Despite that, as has been evaluated on SWOT analysis, Sunway Group weaknesses include lack of skilled visual design and construction building information modeling people. Following these issues, Sunway Group incurred losses in revenue derived from construction sectors. In recent years, Malaysia has been having a shortage of manpower in certain sectors. As this country highly depends on foreign labor, this pandemic has been making it hard for businesses in Malaysia to adapt. As Sunway Group is one of the largest construction companies in Malaysia, it is very likely that job vacancies available are related to construction. But Malaysians are reluctant to work in 3D jobs. Dirty, dangerous, difficult, which will be one of the obstacles for Sunway Group to increase the number of skilled construction workers. According to the Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix QSPM in Chapter 3, it is advisable for Sunway Group to increase the number of skilled construction workers. Having skilled workers is beneficial for Sunway Group as it helps to improve productivity. Variation in skills workers is needed to operate on different functions, and by doing so, it will help Sunway Group to produce its maximum output. Having skilled workers in a way did also help an organization in saving costs. Typically, skilled workers would demand higher salaries, but considering choosing unskilled workers does have other consequences. Unskilled workers tend to have little knowledge and will generally make more mistakes or errors. Constantly making errors will end up costing any business to incur more money and wasting time too. Generally, a business that hires skilled workers needs fewer workers to produce the same or more output as hiring unskilled ones. So this will allow Sunway Group to contribute more money to invest back in other things such as advertising and acquiring new machinery.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will continue with the strategy implementation tool. Okay. This is based on the QSPM in Chapter 3, and it is possible for the Sunway Group to secure the new construction project overseas. The because the Sunway has the ability to undertake the large capital expenditure as they have strong financial support, even our world facing COVID-19. Sunway Group also was able to maintain maintain a strong balance sheet, and it has accessibility to both internal and external generated finance cash. Sunway Group is one of the largest construction company in Malaysia, which has much contribute to our country. And Sunway continue to focus on increasing its company presence in the global region, where they has identified interesting growth prospect. While the group is dedicated to Malaysia as a principal operational base, several of the group business division will seek opportunity in both developed and developing region. In addition, on the previous contract with India, Sunway Construction is well positioned to further consolidate its position on the subcontinent, where demand for the roads, bridge, and large-scale infrastructure projects remain robust. Therefore, it will be one factor of the company to secure its project overseas. As well, it's well known and has a reputation beside having previous project in several countries. Lastly, the Sunway Group should take any opportunity in securing any construction project, especially in our country, because it is to sustain and grow its income stream and to be recognizable worldwide. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, I will explain about strategy implementation number 3, which is introducing the telehealth. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, telehealth was a slow-paced industry in Malaysia. But after the pandemic happened, the telehealth industry in Malaysia has discovered significant development potential. After February 2020, the telehealth industry has seen steady growth of 20% month-on-month growth. Sunway Group, under its healthcare division, should eyeing this as a potential industry that they can be involved in. Sunway Medical Centre should introduce a telemedicine services command centre in Malaysia. This services command centre could be operated in their hospital at Sunway City in Kuala Lumpur and available 24/7 to the customers. The telemedicine command centre will provide patients with first-stage healthcare consultation services. Patients can contact the command centre through various platforms such as phone call, email, websites, or through social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, or TikTok. All inquiries all inquiries should be received by a professional certified medical officers to ensure only high-quality health assessments are provided to the patients. The patient should be able to make an appointment and receive consultation services in real time, with trained medical officers to do the health assessment. The process of the consultation should be flexible for the patients. The telemedicine will become more mainstream in the future as many patients have busy lifestyle and do not have time to go to the clinic or hospital for a health assessment. The telehealth industry is expected to grow in the future as it will become more accessible and affordable to the society.
So next we go for the expectation one. So the first strategy that we suggest is to increase the number of the skilled workers in the construction industry. As we all know, field construction needs a lot of manpower and expertise to ensure the property and also the structure which the company invests in or builds will stand tall for a longer time and also to guarantee the safety of it. Sunway plan on enlarging their operations, thus it is important for them to hire more intelligent people to do the hard work of the planning. From this strategy, we can assume that if Sunway manage to at least fulfill the quota of skilled workers, the safety and the progress of the new projects can be running within a shorter time at the same time rather than postponing the project because of the insufficient expertise. As for the existing operations, adding a new staff and workers can help to increase the proficiency of the business process to give the best service to their customers and also their clients. So the changes that the Sunway will make by hiring more experts workers in the construction also will increase the the changes that Sunway will make by hiring more experts also in the construction industry will increase the property development and construction segmental performance higher because during the pandemic COVID-19, Sunway lost a lot of workers as they need to cut the expenses to pay the wages also to the business that do not run perfectly. Just as the condition is getting better, and the cases are well monitored and handled, along with the vaccinated ratio, which is more than 80%. So this is the best moment for the Sunway to recruit new workers, so competitors do not have the more advantages than they should.
For the expectation too. The next strategy Sunway able to practice is to secure construction project in overseas. Sunway's project mostly related to property and structure which have an enormous capital and long-term contracts. Gaining international contracts will make Sunway Group Berhad more well-known, which in return will make the company to attract more contracts in the future in the country and international. One of the most obvious benefits of foreign development is increased sales. More revenue means additional sales, which may typically lead to more business expansion. The first benefit of international growth is the opportunity to enter new market. It makes sense for a firm that has been successful in its native country to expand internationally. A company's ability to expand its client base increases as it gains access to new markets. Furthermore, open borders allow enterprise to access more unexplored market more quickly. Open borders, for example, provide access to many more nations and consumer for a company expanding into Europe. In your own nation, especially specialized skills might be difficult to come by. Expanding internationally, on the other hand, offer you access to a pool of potential workers with distinct skill sets. Local talent with this talent will provide you an advantage over your competition as an extra benefit. Increased business growth is one of the most significant benefits of international development. Business can expand quicker by entering international market. New audience are exposed to your product or service through expanding the company's worldwide reach. This might lead to more expansions in the future. Prepare to enter the market ahead of your competition. Expansion into new market provide you with new clients and visibility that your competitors may not have. Expanding internationally might also help you break out of a crowded market and stay ahead of the competition. One of the reasons why companies grow internationally is to be able to give dependable service to their foreign customers. A company's operational costs can be reduced by establishing itself in a new nation. Furthermore, by hiring local staff who are familiar with the local language and customs, you will be able to service your clients in the same time zone without any issues. You will be able to reach a larger worldwide audience because of this.
Okay, I will continue with the expectation for strategy 3, which is introduce the telehealth. Introducing the telehealth is the last recommendation strategy which Sunway can establish in their business. Cost saving, convenience, and the ability to give the treatment to the person with mobility constraint or those in remote region who don't have access to a local doctor or clinic are all advantage of using technology to deliver healthcare. Sunway can use telehealth in their hospital to increase the confidence of their present and future customer, which in return will attract the others to try themselves the service that provided by the Sunway Healthcare Center. Sunway may add on a few activities or service such as technology using technology such smartphone, computers, tab, and others gadget for a good use. Patient can use those gadgets to take the reporting measures such as weight, food intake, blood pressure, heart rate, and blood sugar to the doctor. And providing a virtual visit with a doctor or nurse using a computer or gadget also a good idea, as the virus COVID-19 can transmit while having face-to-face interaction. Thus, limiting our face-to-face interaction can avoid them. At the end, updating a bit of a system and technology used in the healthcare is not a bad investment, as most of them need updates as the technology evolve very quickly, and if some way want to stay competitive, they need to be proactive and innovative to keep sustaining the business. That's all for the expectation number 3.
So, as for the conclusions, the three strategies which are increased the number of the skilled constructions, secured construction projects in the overseas, and also introduced the telehealth are a good idea which may bring Sunway Group Berhad towards more developed company and stay competitive for the present and the future, such as Toyota that have stand for almost 84 years since 1937. So even though the Sunway managed to survive during pandemic COVID-19, that does not guarantee that they can stand tall again for the next external problem, especially with the gigantic obstacles that can cause a huge impact on the business that prevent the business from stay competitive in the market. That's all. Thank you.